Hello, Paul Wheels. Great to have you on board here. The video just jumped there a bit quietly. Hey, let's play. Hello, good evening. I'm Paul Wheels, founder of IoT North. Great to have you on here. I've got my good friend John Stavely. Hi, John. How are you doing?
Really good, thank you. I went on holiday. I came back an MVP, Microsoft minimal viable product. No, most valuable professional. So that was quite pleasing. So yeah, if you know what that is.
I was in Scotland and had to come back earlier than planned because of car issues, which is still in the garage at the minute. The connection here seems to be going up and down, so hopefully this settles itself out over the course of the show. Okay, so August sessions. Apologies, we didn't get to go ahead with Amey PLC last week. We had technical issues there, but we're now up and running, and we have Sadaf sat in the wings here that I will bring online very soon. Tonight with Sadaf, he is the Technical Director of Information Services and Platforms at Amey PLC Consulting. We have some announcements today as well. DigiKey are sponsoring the IoT North Forum for the next 3 months, so thank you very much to DigiKey for that. They are creating a space on the forum, so if you go to forum.iotnorth.uk, you will find their section there, which is going to have a whole lot of content, in particular their Future Factories video series that they've got on there. You might find me on one of the episodes. I'm not sure if I actually got on there or not. But check those out. They're really interesting videos, and they're looking for some engagement and connection with everybody on that. So please do check out our sponsors. We also have chances to win the golden ticket. Simply register for the IoT event in London. We'll announce the winners in September. If you would like to have a chance of winning one of those golden tickets, which are worth about 600 quid, then register your solution on the IoT North Marketplace. The IoT North Marketplace is a completely full free service for you to register your solutions, and we're going to start adding branding on there as well. So please do add your branding when you're on the platform, and we'll get them promoted socially. You will see posts going out every single day now from the marketplace promoting the different solutions on there. So get your chance for some free engagement and connections with customers across our network. If you're wanting to ask any questions through the show today, please do ask, and we will pop them up on the screen, probably at the end of Sadaf's presentation. But if it's something that I think is quite urgent, then I will pop it up. And without further ado, let's bring Sadaf onto the stream. Hi, Sadaf. How are you doing?
Hi, John. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Really good, thanks.
So, Sadaf, would you like to just give a quick intro on yourself and just a little bit of background on your career as well? Unless you've done that in your presentation, we can jump into your presentation if you've already got that covered.
No, I think I'm just going to talk myself through. So first of all, like you said, apologies to everyone. Last week we couldn't get it going. There were technical issues, and basically I couldn't connect to the live video stream. So my apologies. But here we are today. Everything's set up and ready to go through the contents. I guess starting from introductions. So I'll start with Amey first as a business. Amey is a leading infrastructure services and engineering company. We are at the heart of modern Britain, helping the economy to grow by designing, maintaining, and transforming nation's strategic asset. We employ more than 60,000 people, and they help. They are behind the critical services that country relies on every day. I think the unique thing about Amey is it's 100 years old, and they had really strong experiences within civil infrastructure engineering operations, and more recently they have their digital arm, which is Amey Consulting I belong to, that mainly focuses on data analytics, bringing data together and finding insights, and complementing to other sectors we operate in and the experiences we have into the kind of civil infrastructure engineering experience and operations. So I think uniqueness is having experience, civil infrastructure domain experience, complemented with the over 100 years of operation experience, and now with digital analytics. It puts them in a really good position to deliver value and solutions that deliver outcome to our customers. So that's a bit of Amey. Within Amey, there's a Amey Consulting, and that's where I belong to. I've been in Amey now for more than 8 weeks, right? So I'm fairly new in Amey, still learning about the business, our clients and customers. Before Amey, I was in Rolls-Royce. I worked there for almost 14 years, again, mainly into software engineering, advanced analytics, built and worked across various sectors within Rolls-Royce. I mean, the biggest business before pandemic, it was civil aerospace. So majority of my contribution went into civil aerospace. Then I worked in Rolls-Royce Power System, which is kind of another sector within Rolls-Royce that kind of we make diesel engines. They have more than 28 applications. They go on ships, they go on to mining trucks, and a number of other applications they have. And they are then I kind of moved on to Rolls-Royce Marine, mainly building digital solutions and deploying those solutions in sector agnostic way. So if we build a solution for civil aerospace, we were taking the same capability into the power system and marine to reconfigure and deploy it. And I think just before leaving Rolls-Royce, I worked in R-Square Data Labs. That was the digital arm of Rolls-Royce, mainly focused on advanced analytics and AI. So that's a bit of my experience and background. I guess.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You go on, Paul.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm sorry, I do have a poor connection here. For some reason, it's just all of a sudden gone absolutely terrible. Hopefully that satellite I was talking about earlier will get here sooner rather than later. Would you like to just fire into your presentation and share your screen?
Yep. Share my screen. It's the screen. Which one I'm sharing? I'm sharing this one. Right. It should be up there now. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so I've given a quick intro. So today I was thinking, what's the best thing I can share with you guys, right? Based on what I've learned so far with Amey, they are really good at civil infrastructure monitoring, right? They do have the platforms within transport infrastructure, mainly rail and highways. But today's focus is mainly around civil infrastructure, and civil infrastructure is quite big domain again, right? So we have dams, we have tunnels, we have bridges, right? So our capability, our solutions kind of monitor all those kind of complex civil infrastructure. So today, civil infrastructure and focusing on bridges. Right, moving on my next slide, if it works. Right, okay. So before I go into our capabilities, the two platform I mentioned, I'll go through the names and what we call them. Just set the scene when we say bridges, what they are. So we kind of monitor different kind of bridges, small to really complex, large bridges, right? So it's a large group, a large and complex group of assets, right? So one of the things I was amazed when I joined Amey, coming from where I was in my previous role, you would expect jet engine is quite complex and scale, and the data you bring from jet engines, and there's more than 15,000 parameters we bring on a 1 hertz data. I was thinking you would think civil infrastructure like bridges, they wouldn't have that much data. I was wrong. Just look at the number of elements we have in a civil infrastructure like bridge. 30,000 plus elements we look after and monitor. So it's probably the complexity is nowhere near to jet engine, but scalability is still there. You're still bringing a really large data to analyze and store. So you're talking about terabytes of data per year per bridge, tens of terabytes, I will call it, right? And these elements are highly complex and critical. And the infrastructure we monitor, some of them are quite new, some of them are quite old, more than 50 years, right? 60 years, right? So the kind of the variation of the data and kind of the sensors we deal with is quite complex and quite varied. So this is kind of some of the information on the structures, right? What functions we do, right? That our platforms do. So they help us with inspections. There's a whole module that's dedicated on inspecting the infrastructure, then monitoring them, reporting what you found in inspection, responding to the alerts you found, and helping with the repair, assessment, enhancing, and renewing. So these are some of the functions we do when it comes to the infrastructure. So these infrastructures are critical, right? And I'll have some more details. You'll appreciate why these are critical to economy and to our lives. And we want to make sure they are safe, they're resilient, and in certain cases we want to maximize the value, return on investment, right? Extend their life. So that's a sort of when it comes to bridges, that's sort of area we focus on. And to do this, there are two areas, right? We focus on. One is the kind of more on the inspection side. The other one is more on the monitoring the live structures. So if I go onto the next slide, this is our first platform. Sorry, I'm trying to log into my computer. It was locked. So the first one is called Pearl. It's been built over the years, and we are on a modernization journey where moving into cloud. So what it is, it's a bridge information and conditional database, right? So if you think in a layman term, it's a big data lake where you dump all the historic data. You have all the project records, right? When it was kind of constructed, who was involved, how many contractors, what type of construction, right? All those kind of information gets collected. And also you have the inspection data, right? Once your civil inspection engineers go and inspect the structure, they collect all kind of information, defects, excuse me, and we capture all the information and we push it into a storage. Right, sorry, I just had a reflex. So all the information gets fed into cloud storage. We have all kind of records we need, and then we move into a next area, which is the inspection. Inspection is where you have whole planning and scheduling process. Once that's been planned, obviously there's a whole planning phase when we say availability of engineers, when is the best day to do it, right? What's the impact on the kind of the structure you're gonna inspect? Are you going to close or not, right? All those kind of information is available in the tool, and it helps with the planning. And once it's been planned, you can go and actually do it, right? So when I say you can go, is the civil inspection engineer goes and starts inspection, and that inspection process is carried out on a mobile device, right? So he goes and see different parts of the structure, takes picture, takes videos, right, and make notes, right? All that information goes straight into our data storage, right? So we're trying to reduce that sort of latency as well, so there's no information left on those devices, and all the information is synced back into main database. So once that all information is collected, we generate inspection report, and those inspections reports are automatically generated, and then they go through the approval processes. And that approval process is a workflow within our platform. It's quite complex and configurable for different type of customers. I mean, the examples today I'm sharing, or my presentation today is focused towards bridges, but same solution is deployed to monitor tunnels, right? Same solution is deployed to monitor dams. So that workflow is configurable. You can go and change based on what are the different approval stages in your process, and you can configure it. Automated update of bridge condition. This is mainly around the inspection findings, so BCI standards, right? So you can automatically update that. Moving on to the next one, the last piece, which is the full description of structure and key components, including maintenance and project history. This kind of I mentioned at the start. So you can store all the information along with inspection. So it's one window operation where you can go in and you can do the inspections. You can see all the information related to the structure. The output is automated inspection reporting, bridge condition reporting, and maintenance budgeting, right? So it's also, so this is very important for our clients. They want to understand how much money they will need on a year-by-year basis to maintain the structure. And this tool helps them to come up with a budget for next 2 to 3 years based on the historic data or the investment they made, and then kind of maintenance budget they had, and the current condition of the structure, and how much life they want to get out of that structure. So all of those decisions being supported by this tool actually enables them, and in certain cases is automated. So that's Pearl. Bridge information and conditioning database, right? And in our new terminology, which hasn't gone out, it's more into a data capture platform. We're thinking about that. That's the journey we're taking on, and trying to make it more agnostic, where it's not just bridges, it's not just tunnels, it's any type of civil infrastructure you can go and inspect. So that's Pearl. Moving on to the next one, Mercury. So Mercury, I would call it, it's a data analytics platform. So inspection data is there. Sorry about the noise, background noise. Inspection data is there. Then the next stage is all the sensors you have on the structural health monitoring structures. So this is IoT data. And then along with IoT data, you have atmospheric or conditional data. And then you got the structure effects. So these are 3 different kind of data sets you want to bring it, right? These are automated data sets, where in the previous example, that was all manual. User goes and kind of uploads that information. This is the sensor data, conditional data, get fed straight into the system. The key thing for us is when these structures gets built, there are different vendors operate on them, and they have the different technology, different kind of sensors, and those when they don't share the data with each other, mainly due to, I would say, commercial and the technical issues, right? The interfaces. What we felt is that it puts Amey in a really unique position. We directly work with the body like Transport for Scotland or Highway England, right? We directly work with them, and we have a mandate, and we can go and suck that data. But with our tool, we can bring the data. It doesn't matter what type of sensor it is. Is it 1 Hertz, or is it something else? Is it CSV or whatever? We can automatically bring that data into our system. And once the data is in, along with inspection, along with the sensor data, we can use machine learning to understand bridge behavior and actively monitor and report on sensor and condition data. Once we have all the algorithms been done, then we move into what we call it intelligent alarms. So these are your alerts, alarms based on a certain threshold. If the data or information crosses those thresholds, then you'll get email, SMS, or any other type of notification which informs you that there's a certain threshold that's been breached, and you need to go and do something about it. I mean, this was a journey, right? We didn't implement these alarms, automated alarms, from day one. We have been working with our clients to build that logic, and it's not only our clients but the industry as well, to bring that knowledge in, and know that knowledge help us to automate these alarms. Yeah, so moving on to the next one, analysis. So yeah, again, it's related to machine learning, right? We're bringing all the data together and finding the insights our clients really need, right? So it's automated monitoring and reporting. That's one of the key outcome of this platform. There's no manual intervention required. Automatically, it brings all the data in and monitors it, and if there's something wrong, alerts you, and periodically you can generate reports too. On-demand analytics and visualization, as you have the data, you can deploy the tool of your choice when it comes to analytics, right? So we have been working on, we were on AWS stack. We also got Azure deployments as well. So you can take best breed of the services you want to use when it comes to data analysis. One of the area we are quite keen to bring in that capability in our platform is Databricks, and we are working with Databricks to bring that as one of the offering within our platform. So we got the data, and you can use Databricks language of your choice, C#, SQL, or Python. You can go and code and do the analysis, and you can publish your results via our visualization or through the Databricks. And the last one is intelligent alerts. This is more of a predictive maintenance. Yeah, so these are three key outcomes of the Mercury. So 2 platforms, Pearl and Mercury. Pearl more around data acquisition, manual data acquisition. Mercury more about automated data acquisition. So that's that, both platforms. Just a bit of kind of summary on the platforms. I've shared most of the information, but the key benefits are reduce risk. I will call it avoiding the risks. When these companies or the authorities, when they build their annual budget, they go for certain risks with their structures, and to mitigate those risks, they allocate the monies. And if we can help them to avoid the risk, then they can reinvest that money which has been allocated to reduce the risk into the structure. That's one. Improve performance. So I kind of mentioned there where we thinking about extending the life, improving the performance through predictive maintenance. That's one area. And improving the decision making. I just mentioned about in a previous slide, I gave an example what sort of decisions clients take and how our tools help them. I want to share a little bit more information about the clients, but I was told at the last minute I can't share the details of the client. So I'm not going to go in details, but it kind of gives you a feel of where these platforms being deployed today. So Pearl and Mercury are providing a complete digital asset management solution for major bridges in Scotland, right? So you can see where they've been deployed. Pearl is being used in support to support an asset inspection program on the Cardiff Valley lines. Then the next one, Mercury. So again, I'm not going to go into details, but it's been deployed into a number of places to monitor the civil structures. Right. Okay. Moving on. Next one. Paul, would you play this video? Right. Okay. So I'm going into a case study just to share kind of the work we do. So this is one of the most modern bridge up in North. You have seen ice bombs, right? So it's a Queen Ferry crossing in Scotland, and that's where we have deployed this. Both platforms been deployed there, helping our clients. So what the issue was, if I go into the next slide. Right. Okay. So you can see on this slide here, due to specific local climate conditions, there have been instances where ice builds up on the bridge cables and towers and subsequently falls on the live carriageway. This represents a significant safety risk to the road users or travelers. And I think the amazing thing is this is one of the most modern bridge, right? So if you have that sort of safety risk, you can imagine some of the other older structures, what sort of risk we're going to have. The additional challenge, it's not only the ice falling from those cables and towers. The additional risk was that the time between the ice kind of building up and then falling on the road, it's anything from 10 to 30 minutes. So there's not enough time to respond to these events if we don't have the data readily available, right, when this ice builds up. So that was a problem, right? And one of the problem was when this bridge was built, this area was not in focus, so this was not deemed as a kind of risk to the road user. It's kind of discovered over the time where we had a number of incidents like this where it caused issues on the bridge, right? In certain cases, closure. And that's where these both of our platforms were deployed. So what we did is we started working very closely with the local authority there, and we progressed the real-time predictive monitoring solution with them. It was a number of iteration of a year, where first quarter was think about, okay, what's the reason why this ice is forming, right? And how the weather is contributing into this, right? And looking at the weather data and see, okay, what time of the year it's worse. You can say it's a winter, probably it's worse, but within winter, what are different atmospheric conditions that triggers these sort of events? And the first 2 quarters, it was all manual. So we're collecting the data, but the inspection and the road closure or the bridge closure was based on all the manual data and manual interventions. But then over the time, we kind of improved it as the data started coming in. We started predicting when the ice start forming, right? At what point they're going to fall on the road. So a lot of that knowledge we built, I would say 8 to 12 months, we translated that knowledge back into our algorithms, right? Now we have reached to a stage where majority of this automated, right? So I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I'm covering all the key points. So this is at a stage now, it's a fully automated process, right? So the users get end users, when it's end users, in this case, are the system end users or the platform end users. They get alert as soon as ice start forming, right? So it gives them enough time to see, okay, what are the next steps they're going to do on this? So they're not going to wait now for the manual inspection, go and see that the ice is being built up. It's basically the data gives them that information and helps them to make the key decisions around when they should close the bridge if they really need to, or they don't have to. And I was looking at the data. One of the key things was that if the bridge remains closed for a day, it costs 1 million to Scottish economy. So any time we can save or reduce the time of the closure, they're going to have knock-on benefits for the economy and delivering value back to our customers. So this picture tells you the ice is falling. You can see a damaged screen there, and at the bottom screen, this is one of the weather station. Now we capture the data. The data we capture is the wind speed, the temperatures for various part of the bridge, wind shear, pressure of not pressure. The different kind of forces that have been exerted on the bridges, right? It's vibration data, right? So all of that data gets collected before we come to a conclusion. Again, that data gets fed into the system. There's an algorithm that goes and finds out the kind of alerts, and then it sends the alerts. It sends the right information to the end user. So that's a bit of case study for both platforms. Moving on to the next one. So what is our architecture? This is kind of Microsoft standard analytics reference architecture that's been implemented. So we got the data sources at the back end where we got different kind of data sources, right? CSVs, sensor data, live data, pictures, videos, all of those. And then from data sources, we have 2 parts. So hot path and cold path. So the hot path is your real-time data processing, and the cold path is you are bringing all the raw data, you store it into Parquet data Delta format, and then it gets batch processed. So then we got the machine learning, as I mentioned in the second or third slide. We got the machine learning, so we can apply that machine learning on the stored data, and when we do the batch processing, and also machine learning gets on the live data too. And then once that data has been processed, it goes into some sort of dimensional data storage before it gets reported. So that's a very high level reference architecture, and all the orchestration here happening. Different tools. The key one we are using is Azure DevOps. So our solution is kind of mix of Microsoft and open source technologies at this point. Right. Okay. Moving on to the next one. So this is actual implementation of architecture. On the left-hand side, you can see ingress. These are different data sources. So SFTP, FTP, both type of the servers there deployed in our solution on our platform. You can send the data via emails, and we can also pull the data, and we can pull it from the given location. You can also do the bulk load of the data. It could be your databases, it could be CSVs. It's pretty much any kind of data that's been generated by the structure. We have the capability that we can suck that in. And the last one is the live stream data from the sensors. Then it's split into two parts, as I mentioned, the reference architecture. Once the data kind of lands in the staging area, we find out, okay, what this data is, who's the customer is, who the client is, and what sort of processing we need to apply on this before we store it.
Sadaf, is it possible to zoom into this slide a little bit? It's a little bit small.
Okay, let's see what I can do. Sorry. It doesn't give me the control to zoom in, to be honest. Oops.
Sorry.
It's crashed. Okay, let me restart it.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem.
I'll blame John for breaking it because he's on mute and we can't see him, so we can't see his angry face.
It's loading. Oh, we were back. No problem.
There we go. We've got angry John there.
I did have my magnifying glass out, but even that.
Right. I'll try to explain, right? This came last minute from our technical lead. We meant to be presenting this, but unfortunately couldn't. So I'll try to read out, right? So ingress is the first part here, and the data sources are FTP, SFTP, email inbox, polling, bulk upload, and live stream, right? So that's ingress. And here in the cold path, which is batch file, coming in, we got storage APIs, file processor, and cold compaction. So basically in this area, we get in the data, we apply the relevant compaction based on where the data is coming from and who the client is, and we store it. And this one here is the live stream. I believe we use Stream Analytics to process the live stream of the data. And for data acquisition, I believe we use Airflow to get the data in. So once the data is in, on the front end, you can see so there are two type of interfaces. So you got the dashboards, which is mainly Kibana and Grafana, right? At the top, you can see it. And the alerts come through SMS and emails. Authentication is via the Azure Active Directory at the moment, but we're going to have multiple authentication mechanism in future. So the data user can come in, not just Active Directory, but through other means too. At the bottom, where we are using the more sort of maintenance, that our end user can reach out to us via email, Slack, SMS, and they have access to our monitoring systems, which they can monitor that overall health of the solution or platform. So that gave them information, the health of the data, when did we get the last data, how old is the data, and when is the next due. So it's kind of give them a nice dashboard on giving them a full picture of the completeness of the data. So that's that. I'm thinking, did I miss anything major there? So in terms of user interface, so we have Grafana and we also have a custom user interface, which has been built in React. We are also thinking bringing in Power BI into this solution if possible. So this is one of the potential area we're looking into. And the solution is moved from AWS into Azure platform now, mainly because our clients mainly are on the Azure cloud platform. And also we have a long-term collaboration with Microsoft and Databricks, so it makes sense that we all bring it together. That's the architecture. So this kind of takes us to the complete the technical architecture piece, right? I got one more slide on this. Paul, I think we probably open up for the question before I go to the next two slides. They're not directly related with these contents, but I can cover them at the end, if that's okay. Or you want me to cover them now?
Okay, so we've got a couple of questions. One from first of all, Gareth, thanks for joining us. and everybody that's on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. John has a question on how do you measure ice building up on a bridge?
Right. Okay. So I'm going to put my disclaimer here first, right? Being new to the business, I might not have answered to all the questions, right? So ice build, there's a sensor. I don't know what it's called. Let me check my notes. Yeah, it's a sensor that monitors the temperature and humidity levels and a few other factors in the atmosphere, and they start working out what is the likelihood of ice forming on the cables or tower, and then we have the visual inspection data. I believe that's where the machine learning is involved. As the kind of ice started building up, the algorithm picks based on weather data and based on the changes they see in the image or the videos, and that's where it creates the threshold and monitors and start firing the alerts.
Interesting. So, because you could also use vision with thermal as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's another area. I think our teams are definitely looking into this area, that how we can go to the next level where we can further improve the sensors capability in the platform.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'd love to have a chat with you and the team about from September and the new space of Pole Wheels. Which, funnily enough, my question that I thought of whilst you were talking there was what sensor technology could be used. For example, vision, if you're not using it, or is there other stuff that's out there as well?
Yeah, so
yeah,
within Amey, there's a whole team that focuses on the infrastructure side, which is mainly sensors. So someone like myself, more on the platform, build the capability, right? But I'm not responsible deploying those sensors. So there's a team, they're a specialist in capturing the data and kind of deploying different type of sensors. So yeah, if people are interested, probably we can have a dedicated session on this, or I can link with them. And if there are opportunities that we can work together, more than happy to engage on that topic.
And I think that's one good thing to point out on this is that, you know, if you have anything that you think may be of interest with Amey and stuff, by all means, Sadaf's very keen for you to reach out to him on LinkedIn. I will share the banner with the details there with his link very soon. That, you know, it's, as we all know, in the IoT ecosystem, it's working together and being able to bring each other's experiences to help evolve and grow moving further forward. We had John's statement there, which was white snow on a white bridge might be tricky. Could be, unless you use thermal. And then it's all about the color. And then we've got Gareth again. Hi, Gareth. Something like LiDAR carried by a drone might be able to tell you a lot about the ice thickness, etc.
A very advanced solution here. I look forward to his proposal on this one.
Please do send it on the back of a Marlboro cigarettes. And I'm only saying that because I did that today for the first time in a long time. Do you manage your IoT devices from the cloud? If so, how do you do it?
Yeah, they are. So they are managed by us through, I believe at the moment, is AWS. I don't know exactly which service we use to monitor those, but yes, we do. We monitor those and we use the AWS native capability to manage the IoT devices.
Brilliant. And Gareth rose to the challenge here for you, John, because he actually works for a drone company.
Easy man. I think you just need to talk to directly and get this out there.
Which I think is a nice little time for. Where is the banner I'm looking for? I'll find it.
Yeah, if you get the time, I suggest to look at Amey VTOL. This is a joint venture between Amey and the company that makes drones, and we are making a significant progress on that front, where we are building the software capability, but we're working with the drones company to capture the videos and images and the live maintenance of the highway. When I say live maintenance, I mean basically capturing the data and pushing into HE.
Excellent. There's the link there for Sadaf, which I will put into the comments as well, so you should be able to click it on as a link. Sadaf will have a couple of calls to action coming up very soon. Please, no agencies contacting, recruitment agencies contacting Sadaf, direct approaches only if you're interested in his request very soon. Sadaf, so then let me bring back your screen, which is this.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for the background noises. My son, for some reason, is not happy. So, but yeah, on this one, this is an important one, right? We have a significant growth plans, and we have multi-million investment going into those platforms. The Pearl and Merkley both mentioned. So we're looking for product owners, we're looking for solution architects, right? Both on IT side and on software side. We're also looking for lead full stack application developers and developers. And if you are interested, or if you know someone who's quite interested in these roles, please reach out to me. I thought I did add my email address. For some reason, it's not here. Probably I didn't save it. I'll reach out to me via LinkedIn. And if you really need my email address, Paul has it. So yeah, we can. I'm sure there are ways you can reach out to me.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to reach out to me directly, I can certainly put you in touch with Sadaf. If you miss anything, you can get in touch with this info@iotnorth.uk. Yeah, I can for sure put you in touch. I'm also just about to put into comments your LinkedIn profile so people can click on that. And I'm also going to make the statement, no agencies, exclamation mark. That's being shared there.
Yeah.
So sorry, Sadaf, with those roles, product owners, solution architects, is this 1, 2 roles? How many roles are there of these 4?
So product owners, at least 2. Solution architects, as many as we can find, right? 2, 3.
Wow.
Right. So it's really difficult. I must share the experience with the wide industry here, right? We are really struggling to find people with the digital skills, with the skills within cloud. So 2 to 3 architects, lead full stack developers. You're talking about 12 of those with various skill set. So I think altogether you're talking about 15 to 16 people. We're going to recruit over the next few months. We already recruited. I mean, I've been recruited. As I said, I joined about 8 weeks ago. So we're on a very aggressive recruitment campaign.
Excellent. There is actually quite
are these specifically IoT roles? Because I mean, solution architects could be an Azure solution architect, or
solution. So there's an IT architect, which is Azure architect, more into the infrastructure space, right? How are you going to set up your Azure infrastructure? How are you going to set up your network topology, all the resources? How are you going to security harden it? Solution architect is more around the data side. So there are some elements of the IoT, but it's mainly around knitting together an Azure solution, right? So how are you going to use your Databricks as a kind of compute engine? Then you got the storage, then you got your front end. How are you going to build that solution in those 3 services? For the IoT directly, 100% IoT, I don't think these are the fully IoT type of solutions. So that recruitment will happen from our IoT focused team, which the one I mentioned. So I'm going to reach out to them if they got any roles available. If people reach out to me, I can share those the details as well.
Excellent. There is actually quite a cool startup that's doing phenomenally well in helping find good quality developers, which is called Haystack. They're sort of trying to have a different approach to recruitment. It's a startup that started here in Newcastle and grown across the country very, very quickly over the past few months. They're doing a great job. So it may be worthwhile thinking about advertising the roles there as well. And with those roles, are you happy with people being remote working? We seem to be hopefully moving to this much more open way of working after the past 18 months. So is that something that Amey's happy to continue doing and considering people further afield?
Yes, we do. Actually, we got the office all over UK, right? But we are going into this hybrid model where people are working 3 to 4 days from home and maybe 1 day in office if required to, but they will only come to their nearest office. Or if they're going to travel to a different office, all the expenses will be paid. So I'll give you an example. I'm Derby based. My office is London. I work 4 days from home and travel up to London once a week, only if I need it. So in 8 weeks, I've been up there about 4 times. And that's what we're going to carry on, to be honest.
Brilliant. Is there any more? If anybody has any more questions for Sadaf, please do fire them in the comments and we'll get them answered straight away. I'm just going to double check on LinkedIn.
Yeah, my final comments are that it's just a very high level overview. I just want to give it to you guys. Share the initial thoughts I captured going into Amey. My view is that over the next few months we're gonna have a lot going into these platforms, and I would love to come back probably in 3 to 4 months' time to give you a more deep dive around IoT and the solution itself, right? And share the best practices with industry and maybe learn from the industry, right? Through the question if people are interested to collaborate in this space.
Yeah, for sure. You're more than welcome to come back. We'd love to have you on the show, and from the technical side of things and getting a bit more deeper in the nitty gritty, and then we have the random shows through the week, usually at lunchtime, where we will have a bit more chat about the business side of things, and if you've got any calls to actions with partners and stuff like that, that's a great forum to do that in as well.
And the very last one, thank you very much for providing your platform and forum, for sharing our capabilities and where we are heading, and John, yourself as well, right? Thank you very much for your support.
Absolute pleasure. And John, thanks for making the connection, as always. Okay, brilliant. John, who do we have for September?
We have a representative from Microsoft, from the West Coast of America, Olivier Bloch, simplifying IoT. So it's very much Azure-based solution and how you manage devices remotely, and you're pushing all the code down to the devices. So it should be a very interesting presentation. He's a very personable chap, so I think it should be good to listen to.
Yeah, we've had him on the show a couple of months back, didn't we? He's absolutely brilliant at presenting, absolutely superb. I am very envious of his setup. Not alone his internet connection, but also the toys that he has to do it with as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. We've also got the part of the Leeds Digital Festival. We've got a special Intel show on September the 28th with Vibhu, who we've had on the show before, talking about ideation to inception. And we also have Rob Risney on there as well, from the Intel team in the States, and hopefully a few more. And we'll be talking about IoT, vision, AI, and some other stuff coming from Intel as well. So, guys, thanks very much. Just to recap on a couple of things, as I mentioned, IoT North Forum is now sponsored by DigiKey, so please do check that out. They've got some great new content that they've come through, which is the reason why they've sponsored it. Forum.iotnorth.uk. It's free to sign up. Please do create your own spaces, have a chat, start to invite friends along and build out the community. We're all here to help and support. We have free tickets to win for IoTech Expo, free gold tickets worth about 600 quid. Simply just register your solution on the marketplace, and we'll do a lucky draw on the solutions that are there, and we will announce that in September. And as I mentioned, register on the marketplace. Where is it? I've just clicked on the wrong. Why is that everything? Oh, it's running along the bottom. IoT Marketplace, or iotnorth.uk/marketplace. Any IoT solutions, please do get them on there. Let's share them. We'll add them onto our social calendar and get them promoted across our social platforms and help make connections for you. If we can help you in any way, please do email info@iotnorth.uk. And that, folks, is it. Sadaf, thanks very much. John, as always, thank you very much for your support with the community in helping organising things. You are absolutely invaluable. I'll be lost without you, buddy. I'm going to have to send you another T-shirt soon to say thank you. And on that note, guys, thanks very much. And have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.